I've seen the future.
Hey everybody, it's Colette Baron-Reid. Welcome to this week's Oracle card forecast and lesson for the week of March the 26th, and it's very exciting because this is the first week that I'm going to work live with you guys with a new deck that's coming out tomorrow called the Mystical Shaman Oracle that I was so fortunate to be able to work with Alberto Villaldo and his wife Marcela Lobos, celebrated and shamanic experts, and I lent my bit to it, and here they are, and they're gorgeous. Jenna de la Grataglia did the art as she does all my decks, and they are stunning. So let's start with the first card that I picked. I asked the deck, what can you tell all of us about what is in our highest good this week? Now, remember that we're looking at this individually as well as collectively. So how do you stay in alignment with your highest intentions is also part of this question. So that's for you individually. And then how do we evolve together? How do we make a better life for everyone? The first card is called Vision Quest. So I'm going to read from the guidebook because you'll get a chance to recognize that it's different from the other projects that I've worked on. So you have three ways of looking at the card. One is called the essence, one is called the invitation, and the other is called the medicine. So I'm going to read all three to you today so you get a hang of how this deck actually works. It's so beautiful, the Vision Quest. So the essence of the Vision Quest is this. In a Vision Quest, you face your fear, embrace your mortality, and then meet face to face with spirit. When we feel stagnant, a Vision Quest brings our lives into perspective. We realize our flaws, our potential, and the opportunities life is now offering us. We remain on a vision quest until we find the key to open a door or write a new chapter in our lives. So this reminds us, this is a kind of a week of a personal inventory. We go out into nature, we go out and contemplate our lives. We spend time with looking at how far we've come. That's really what this card is inviting us to do. And we're asking for something greater to come to us. We're asking for a better vision for our lives. So the invitation says, find clarity by spending time outdoors, of course. If you live in a city, go for a walk in a park. If you live in the country, make sure you spend time outside in contemplation, not just like wandering and shopping or whatever. Really, we want to use this as a contemplative method for looking at ourselves with clarity. Now, get off the couch, get away from your desk, go outside. Spirit helps those who help themselves. So set your intention and ask nature for a guiding vision for your life. Now, we do get signs in nature, and it's interesting because the next card is a nature card, and it is the owl. So the owl would be our sign from nature. And this is card 39, so beautiful. I'm going to read it also. Card 39. The book is nice and big too, which I love. So here's the essence of the owl. The owl is the master of the night. So remember, when we're in the dark about something, which we're saying we want to make an inventory this week about ourselves, we want to see how in alignment we are with our intentions. We're going to ask for a vision. Now we got one. We got the owl is our answer to that vision. So we want to see situations with perfect clarity, and the owl sees situations with perfect clarity, more so when it is dark, and is able to discern truth when others are sightless. She helps you find your light and your lightness in the darkest moments of your life, and to embrace the night as your ally. So when we are in the dark, we have to not be afraid of it. We have to say, okay, I am going to take a look at this that has been unavailable to me up until now. Sometimes our own personal truth is unavailable to us because we're in denial about it. So owl can bring you messages from the invisible world, and that's also through our intuition. She opens your ears so you may hear the voices of the ancestors, and you may acquire their wisdom and make it your own. So if this refers to ancestors, it's really all the guiding forces in the invisible world that have come before us that have wisdom that have been integrated, but we don't have it yet, or we don't remember it. So it's a gift to us through the invisible world. Now the invitation here is simple. Look around you, notice every detail, and find the hidden messages brought to you by owl. Do not shoot the messenger. Be careful be grateful to the friend, and be careful not to shoot that messenger who shows you what you have not wanted to see until now. Observe all the facets of the diamond without judgment. Remember that the facets you dislike within yourself and others are often mirrors of the parts of you that you do not want to recognize. Do not be afraid of the truth, so it will become your compass. So this is an interesting card too. I always find that as we created the deck, I started playing with the deck a little bit. Whenever I got Owl, I realized I was either projecting or I was noticing I was pushing back against something somebody else was doing, and without realizing that, oh, I own that in me. So it's a wonderful, wonderful card when you are doing the self-inventory that the Vision Quest suggested for this week, for you to take a look at the more shadowy aspects of your character in order for you to progress and to stay in alignment with your highest good, because we got to look the dark. Now, the last card is number 57. I love this card. It's called the Time Master. So I'm going to go to 57. 57. The art on these, I cannot tell you how gorgeous the art is. You're going to obviously see them. We're going to, on my main Facebook page, we're going to show you lots of these cards. So go check them out. So here's the essence of the Time Master, and really the Time Master in general is saying you are not going to run out of time. That time is a man-made construct, so there's no rush. Like, in other words, you're not only going to get this week to stay in alignment with your highest good. You can't expect your intention to manifest this week necessarily, or in the time frame that you dictate or demand. It's a process, and it's fluid, and it needs its own evolutionary process in its own time to reveal itself to you. So here it is. Time is a construct of the human mind through which life events are seen to flow in a straight line from past to future, left to right. This, however, is an illusion. Time moves in patterns, fractals, sometimes turning like a wheel, and others moving straight as an arrow. Humans see time like a ticking clock, and this image reminds us that there's only so much of it to spend in our life, like a kind of currency. At any given moment, you can see time in all its infinite potential. At once vast and all-encompassing, then shrunken and finite. It all depends on perspective. I honestly believe that we can stretch time. When I make a decision that there is all the time in the world to get something done, I find that I have twice as much time as I thought, instead of being afraid that there's not enough time. And you test it out, try that this week. I have all the time in the world versus I don't have enough time. And see how it makes you feel and see what actually happens. Now here's the invitation. When the Time Master visits you, he asks the most important question. Will you break free from limited cause and effect thinking by moving beyond the linear illusion and welcoming the cyclical quality of time? You find yourself in a moment when the wheel of time turns and you're able to influence the past, thus changing the present and future simultaneously. And this is the true test of the Time Master. You're being invited to take back your power. So let go of your past and choose to step into your life. In this moment, you are all powerful. You are the Time Master. Anything is possible now. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a lesson about this subject. So if you could imagine, and probably the best, the best way to describe this is, let's say your parent has passed and you had a difficult relationship with that parent, and you have a story or a narrative that you tell about this hard relationship. But what if you actually start to perceive that relationship very differently? I can tell you honestly, I did that around my mom. I have the best relationship with my mother now. It has completely changed the way I see the world, and it completely changes the way I behave in order for me now to co-create the kind of future that I want, because I'm not carrying the burden of that old story with me. But I had to do that when I took inventory, when I went into the dark, when I saw my part in things, and then I was able to release myself, the girl from the past who could not see the truth of what was really happening. For example, now I don't know if you identify with this, but my mom was super overprotective and really a big personality, and seemed and appeared to me that she didn't care. The truth was she cared very much, but the behavior I rebelled against made me think she didn't care or didn't see me, but in fact she was trying to protect me. So I'm just using this as an example. So I'm going to invite you to consider what in your life, in terms of your perspective of the past, could change if you saw it differently. And I'm telling you, it is 1,000% that way. It's as if you took the domino that dropped and created the pattern that brought you to where you are now. Instead, you pushed it in a different direction. then all of a sudden who you are today and who you will become in the future, because you become something from the point of vantage from which you co-create reality. Who will you become? It will change everything. So this is a great invitation that these 3 cards offer all of us this week. So this is what's in store for you with the Mystical Shaman Oracle. God bless all of you. Take care. Have a great, or Goddess bless you. I'm going to go there next. Have a great week. Take care. If you like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to leave a comment. And don't forget also, you can go to my website and try some cards out there. Add your cards, your personal cards, to the overarching theme for this week and see how it all fits together. It's like a big puzzle. You'll be amazed. Take care.
I've seen the future. It's beautiful.